The phone buzzed on the kitchen counter, its screen glowing in the dim light like a beacon of secrets. I froze mid-step, coffee mug halfway to my lips, as the notification flashed. New message from unknown. My stomach twisted, a cold knot tightening. Sarah's phone never lit up like that. Not at 2 a.m. Not when she was supposedly asleep upstairs. The mug trembled in my hand, coffee sloshing against the rim, as I stared at the device like it might bite. I set the mug down, the ceramic clinking too loudly against the granite. The house was silent, save for the faint hum of the fridge and the distant creak of floorboards settling. Or was it her, stirring in our bed? My pulse thudded in my ears, urging me to walk away, to ignore it. But the screen glowed again, another message stacking beneath the first. I reached for it, fingers hovering, guilt prickling my skin. This wasn't me. I didn't snoop. But the weight of the past few weeks, her late nights, her guarded smiles, the way her laughter felt like a performance, pressed me forward. The phone unlocked with a swipe. She hadn't changed her passcode. My breath caught as I opened the messages. Meet me tomorrow. Same place. Can't stop thinking about you. The words burned into my retinas, each syllable a shard of glass. Below it another. You make me feel alive again. My knees buckled, and I gripped the counter, the cold edge biting into my palms. Who was this? Why was this stranger's number saved as work contact? I scrolled up, the timestamp stretching back weeks. Cryptic texts, vague plans, and then buried in the thread a photo. Her laughing, her hair catching the sunlight in a park I didn't recognize. A man's arm draped around her, his face cropped out. My chest tightened, a scream clawing at my throat, but I swallowed it. I had to know. I had to understand. The next morning, Sarah moved through the kitchen like a ghost, her movements practiced but distant. She poured cereal for the kids, her smile a fragile mask. You're up early, she said, her voice light but strained, like a string stretched too tight. Couldn't sleep, I muttered, watching her over the rim of my coffee mug. The kids babbled, oblivious, their spoons clinking against bowls. I wanted to confront her, to demand answers, but the words stuck. What if I was wrong? What if this was nothing, a misunderstanding, a cruel coincidence? My mind churned, replaying every late-night work call. Every time she turned her phone face down. You okay, Tom? She asked, her hazel eyes flicking to mine. They were soft, searching, but there was something else there. Guilt? Fear? I couldn't tell. Fine. I lied, my voice rough. Just tired. She nodded, turning back to the kids, but her hands trembled as she poured orange juice. I noticed it, the smallest crack in her facade. My heart pounded, torn between love and rage. I wanted to grab her, shake her, beg her to tell me it wasn't true. Instead, I sipped my coffee, the bitterness mirroring the churn in my gut. That afternoon, I followed her. It felt wrong, like I was betraying her by doubting her, but the texts were a splinter in my mind, festering. She'd said she was meeting a client downtown, but her car turned toward the riverfront, not the office district. I kept my distance, my sedan blending into the lunch hour traffic, my hands sweaty on the wheel. The city blurred past, neon signs, honking horns, the sour tang of exhaust in the air. She parked near a small cafe, its windows fogged with condensation. I pulled into a lot across the street, my heart hammering as she stepped out, her coat flapping in the autumn wind. She looked beautiful, radiant even, and it gutted me. Then he appeared, a man in a gray jacket, tall, with dark hair and a smile that made my fists clench. They embraced, her head tilting up to meet his lips in a kiss that lasted too long. My vision tunneled, the world narrowing to that single, shattering moment. I wanted to storm over, to scream, to demand why. But I stayed frozen, my breath fogging the windshield. My phone buzzed in my pocket, her name on the screen. Running late, client meeting dragged. Home by 6. The lie stung worse than the kiss. I watched them disappear into the cafe, her hand in his, and something inside me broke. That night I waited. The kids were asleep, the house suffocatingly quiet. Sarah sat on the couch, scrolling through her phone, her face bathed in its blue glow. I stood in the doorway, my shadow stretching across the rug. We need to talk, I said, my voice low, trembling with the weight of what I'd seen. Her eyes flicked up. wide for a split second before narrowing. About what? She asked, too casual, her fingers tightening around the phone. I saw you today. The words spilled out, sharp and raw. With him. At the cafe. Her face drained of color, her lips parting, but no sound came. The silence was deafening, heavier than any argument we'd ever had. Tom, she started, but I cut her off. Who is he? My voice cracked, anger and heartbreak warring in my chest. How long, Sarah? How long have you been lying to me? She stood, her hands raised like she could push the truth away. It's not what you think, she said, but her voice wavered, betraying her. He's just someone from work. It's not serious. Not serious? I laughed, bitter and hollow. I saw you kiss him. I read your texts. Don't lie to me now. Her eyes filled with tears, but they didn't move me. Not anymore. I didn't mean for it to happen, she whispered, her voice breaking. I love you, Tom. I do. But I don't know. I felt trapped, like I was losing myself. He made me feel seen. Her words were a knife, twisting deeper with every syllable. Trapped. I echoed, my voice rising. We have a life, Sarah. Kids. A home. And you throw it away, because you felt trapped. She flinched, tears spilling over. I didn't throw it away. I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't fix this. I said, my voice cold now, though my heart was screaming. I wanted to hold her, to erase the last 24 hours, but the image of her with him was seared into my mind. I trusted you. I gave you everything. She reached for me, but I stepped back, the distance between us a chasm. Tom, please, she begged. We can fix this. I'll end it. I swear. I stared at her. The woman I'd loved for a decade, now a stranger. My mind flashed to the kids upstairs, to the life we'd built, now crumbling. And then unbidden a memory surfaced, her voice years ago, laughing as we danced in our old apartment, promising forever. The contrast was unbearable. I need time, I said finally, my voice barely audible. I don't know if I can do this. She nodded, tears streaming, but didn't follow as I walked out. The night air was cold, the stars indifferent above. I drove aimlessly, the city lights blurring through my tears. My phone buzzed, another text from her, pleading. I didn't open it. Instead, I pulled over, my hands shaking, and opened her phone again, still in my pocket from last night. One last message from him. I know you're scared, but we can be together. Leave him. The words hit like a final blow, but then I noticed the timestamp. Sent an hour ago, while we were fighting. She hadn't responded. Yet. My heart stuttered, caught between hope and despair. Could she still choose me? Or was this just the beginning of the end?